Table set for Sunday supper, just like every week before. Mama still counts every plate, though there's one less than before. Daddy's old chair by the window sits exactly where it stood, like somehow we all keep expecting to see him there for good. His old cap still hangs beside the doorway. His boots rest by the wall. Little pieces of a faithful life still answer every call. Funny how a house remembers the people that it loves, long after footsteps disappear from these old wooden rugs. Grief has a quiet language only hearts can understand, but hope keeps gently whispering, this isn't where it ends. One empty chair, one living hope, one promise stronger than the hardest road. One empty chair, but heaven's gained a home. And though we miss him every day, we're never truly alone, because God's love reminds us goodbyes don't last forever. My little girl asked softly, why doesn't Grandpa come anymore? I held her close beside me, looking at that empty chair once more. I told her he's with Jesus now, where tears don't ever fall, and one sweet day we'll hug him again beyond these earthly walls. She smiled through tiny questions only children seem to ask, then folded both her little hands before the meal was passed. Her simple prayer reminded me of something Daddy used to say: faith sees tomorrow clearly, even when today feels gray. Love doesn't stop breathing when this life reaches its end. It simply waits in heaven until we meet again. One empty chair, one living hope, one promise stronger than the hardest road. One empty chair, but heaven's gained a home. And though we miss him every day, we're never truly alone, because God's love reminds us goodbyes don't last forever. Sometimes I still hear his laugh carried softly through the pines. Sometimes I still catch myself looking for him one more time. And I remember what he taught me every evening after prayer. This world is only the beginning. Our forever starts up there. One empty chair, one living hope, one family waiting beyond these earthly roads. One empty chair, the joy will fill it someday, when all God's children gather home, when no one fades away. Until that glorious morning, we'll keep believing on one empty chair, one living hope. The porch light glowed against the twilight as the family bowed their heads to pray. And somehow that empty chair didn't feel quite so empty anymore. The paint keeps peeling from the barn. The fence could use a little care. That old windmill squeaks each morning like it's offering up a prayer. The tractor's got 100 stories written in its rust and steel. Every scar across this farmland speaks of promises made real. There were years the rain came easy, years the sky forgot our names. We learned that faith grows deepest when hope survives the pain. Daddy used to stand at sunrise, looking over every field, saying, son, trust the one in heaven more than what the harvest yields. The seasons keep on changing, but one thing stays the same. The hands that shape these acres still whisper through my name. God never left this farm through every drought and storm. He walked these fields beside us, keeping weary hearts warm. God never left this farm, though the years have come and gone. His mercy still rises every morning with the breaking dawn. Now every furrow reminds me I've never worked alone. The old house holds our laughter in every weathered board. Mama's favorite hymn still echoes down the quiet hallway floors. My children chase the fireflies just like I did years before, running through the same green pasture toward that old screen door. Some folks measure blessings by the size of what they own, but I've seen heaven touch this soil in ways the world has never known. A family gathered around the table, hands folded before we eat, has always been the richest harvest God could ever give to me. I've traveled far enough to know what truly makes life whole. You don't have to leave the country to find the Lord of every road. God never left this farm through every drought and storm. He walked these fields beside us, keeping weary hearts warm. God never left this farm, though the years have come and gone. His mercy still rises every morning with the breaking dawn. Now every furrow reminds me I've never worked alone. Someday this land will belong to hands younger than my own. I pray they'll find the same strong faith that carried generations home. The crops may change with seasons, the old barn may someday fall, but the God who blessed this little place will outlive them all. God never left this farm. He's written grace in every field, in every seed of hope we've planted, in every prayer we've ever kneeled. God never left this farm, and He never will depart, because the richest ground He ever touched was a faithful human heart. And now every sunrise tells me, as robins greet the morn, God never left this farm. He's been here all along. The sun settled behind the old red barn as the evening breeze moved through the corn, and I smiled knowing some places become holy simply because God never left them. Grandpa had one Sunday suit hanging by the bedroom door, dark as midnight, pressed with care, though it had seen years before. He'd shine his shoes on Saturday with a rag worn soft by time, and lay his Bible on the table, ready for the morning light. sun would rise, he'd already be awake, brewing coffee in the kitchen while the whole house still remained asleep. He never said much on those mornings, just tipped his hat and smiled, showing me that faith was something lived long before the church service started. Looking back, I finally know what that old suit really meant. It wasn't about looking your best, it was about giving God your best. Grandpa's Sunday suit was stitched with faith and grace. It wasn't made of cloth alone, but the life he chose each day. Grandpa's Sunday suit still hangs inside my heart, reminding me that humble lives leave the deepest marks. Now every Sunday morning I still see him standing there. After church we'd gather round one long table full of food, Grandma laughing in the kitchen, making everyone feel understood. Grandpa always blessed the meal with hands weathered by the years, thanking God for simple mercies through both laughter and through tears. When he finally went to heaven, Mama folded up that suit, placed it gently in a cedar chest beside his old work boots. She said, don't remember the jacket or the tie he used to wear, remember the faithful man inside it who carried God everywhere. Clothes eventually grow old and colors slowly fade, but a faithful life keeps shining long after it's been laid away. Grandpa's Sunday suit was stitched with faith and grace. It wasn't made of cloth alone, but the life he chose each day. Grandpa's Sunday suit still hangs inside my heart, reminding me that humble lives leave the deepest marks. Now every Sunday morning I still see him standing there. Now my own son asked me why I still wear a tie to church. I smile and tell him softly, it reminds me what life's worth. It's never been about appearances or trying to impress. It's about bringing your grateful heart and letting God do the rest. Grandpa's Sunday suit still teaches me today that faith is worn with kindness in the words we choose to say. Grandpa's Sunday suit lies far beyond the years, and every prayer around our table and every hymn we hold so dear. Now when I stand on Sunday morning, I quietly thank the Lord for a faithful man in Grandpa's Sunday suit. The church bell echoed through the valley as the congregation stood to sing, and for just a moment I could almost see Grandpa smiling back at me. Folks around here joke sometimes that this road don't lead nowhere. Just a few old farms and fences and more sky than anywhere. The pavement ended miles ago where the blacktop met the dust. But somehow every mile beyond it still feels richer than enough. Mrs. Carter waves from her porch swing every afternoon at 4. Old Ben still feeds the horses like he has forevermore. Nothing here makes headlines, nothing here moves fast, but every sunset seems to whisper that the best things always last. The world keeps chasing bigger dreams while hurrying through each day. The peace still waits for anyone who chooses this simple way. Heaven lives down this dirt road, right where simple people pray, where every meal begins with gratitude at the end of every day. Heaven lives down this dirt road in every helping hand, and every promise quietly kept across this blessed land. Now every mile reminds me God has always been this close. The old church bell rings each Sunday across the cotton fields below. Children run across the churchyard like they never want to grow. The preacher still knows every family, every birthday, every name, and every prayer that's lifted there finds the Lord just the same. I've traveled through big cities where the buildings touch the sky, but I've never found more kindness than beneath these country skies. Funny how the smallest places can hold the biggest truths. God often builds his kingdom where the world forgets to look. Riches aren't always counted by the things that we possess. Sometimes they're measured quietly by peace and happiness. Heaven lives down this dirt road, right where simple people pray, where every meal begins with gratitude at the end of every day. Heaven lives down this dirt road in every helping hand, and every promise quietly kept across this blessed land. Now every mile reminds me God has always been this close. Now my grandchildren ride bicycles down the same old country lane, laughing just the way we did before life learned our names. I watch them disappear in sunlight and softly smile inside, because some roads don't simply lead us home, they teach us how to live our lives. Heaven lives down this dirt road in every season that goes by, in every answered prayer and every tear God gently dries. Heaven lives down this dirt road, and someday when life is through, I believe the road to glory will feel a whole lot like this one too. Now every evening finds me thanking God for where I stand, because heaven still lives down this dirt road. The dust settled behind the old pickup as the church bell rang once more, and I smiled, knowing heaven had been here all along.
Biscuits cooled upon the table while Mama poured the sweet-ass tea. Grandma smiled across the kitchen, calling everyone to eat. After supper, someone always walked toward that old upright piano. Before the dishes even dried, we all knew where the evening would go. No stage lights fill the room, no choir robes or fancy things, just ordinary people lifting extraordinary songs to the King. Looking back, I realize now those simple nights weren't small. They were quietly building the strongest parts of us all. Faith doesn't always echo from cathedral walls so grand. Sometimes it softly starts with family hand in hand. Home is where the hymns begin, where hearts learn how to pray, where amazing grace meets everyday life in the simplest kind of way. Home is where the hymns begin long before church bells ring, because a house becomes a blessing when a family learns to sing. Now every melody reminds me where my faith first found its wing. Grandpa always sang off-key, but nobody seemed to mind. He smiled louder than his singing and somehow stayed right on time. Daddy kept the harmony, Mama found the melody. The little ones just sang their hearts out, as happy as they could be. Those old hymns became companions through weddings, births, and tears. They carried us through hard seasons across so many years. Now my children know those same songs, though the world has changed outside. Some treasures never lose their beauty, no matter how time flies. The greatest songs aren't measured by the charts they climb above. They're measured by the memories they fill with faith and love. Home is where the hymns begin, where hearts learn how to pray, where amazing grace meets everyday life in the simplest kind of way. Home is where the hymns begin long before church bells ring, because a house becomes a blessing when a family learns to sing. Now every melody reminds me where my faith first found its wings. Someday this old piano may finally fall silent here, but the songs it placed inside our hearts will keep ringing through the years. Every child who heard them growing up will carry them along until another little family finds hope inside those songs. songs. Home is where the hymns begin and where they'll always stay, passing from one generation to another on the way. Home is where the hymns begin, where heaven feels so near, because God's greatest melodies are often born right here. Now every Sunday evening, when voices rise again, I remember home is where the hymns begin. The last note slowly faded as the stars filled up the sky, and the house grew still, but the song never really ended. Used to know these country roads like the lines upon my hands. Every curve led to somebody who'd gladly call me friend. But somewhere after leaving home, the miles began to change. The farther that I chased this world, the less I knew my name. The Sundays slowly disappeared, one after one each year, replacing hymns with hurried mornings and silence I called freedom here. Funny how a crowded city can leave a man alone. Even with 1,000 people, he still longs for home. I thought I'd lost my way to heaven, somewhere down those endless miles, but grace kept leaving little footprints, leading me back all the while. It was the long way back to Sunday, the long road back to grace, back to folded hands in prayer and familiar smiling faces. The long way back to Sunday, where mercy never changed. I came home carrying regrets, but Jesus called my name. Now every church bell reminds me love was waiting all along. One October Sunday morning, I pulled beside that little church. The parking lot looked just the same as the day I'd first learned worship. Old Mr. Harris still greeted folks standing by the front door. He looked at me and simply smiled like I'd never left before. The choir started singing softly the hymn we always knew. Every single word felt somehow fresh and wonderfully true. When the invitation came, I couldn't stay behind, because the Lord had already been working on this heart of mine. Sometimes the longest journey is only a few small steps, from pride into forgiveness, from wandering into rest. It was the long way back to Sunday, the long road back to grace, back to folded hands in prayer and familiar smiling faces. The long way back to Sunday, where mercy never changed. I came home carrying regrets, but Jesus called my name.
every church bell reminds me love was waiting all along. Now my children know that little church, not because I made them go, but because they saw the peace I found the day I finally came home. Faith isn't something inherited without a heart that chooses to, but someone has to walk back first to show the next what love can do. It was a long way back to Sunday, but every mile was worth the cost, because the shepherd never stopped searching for one sheep that was lost. The long way back to Sunday brought me where I belong. Now every sunrise starts with gratitude, and every week begins with song. I'll keep walking with my Savior until He calls me home someday. The long way back to Sunday. The old church bell echoed across the valley as morning light filled the sky, and I smiled knowing some roads are long because they're leading you back to the place God never left. God never left. The river always looked different every Sunday after dawn. Morning mist would drift like heaven before the daylight carried on. Folks would gather by the shoreline, Grandma in her Sunday dress, children skipping little stones without a single hint of stress. The preacher stood knee-deep in water, holding Daddy by the hand. I was only 7 years old, too young to understand, but I still remember hearing voices floating softly through the air as the whole church started singing like heaven had settled there. Some memories grow brighter the farther life moves on. Certain songs never leave you long after they're gone. When the river sang Amazing Grace, heaven felt close enough to touch. The water carried and every note still reminds me of the day my faith first grew. Now every flowing river still sings that song to me. Years roll by like that river, always moving toward tomorrow, carrying laughter through the summers and winters filled with sorrow. We buried Grandpa on the hillside, just above the winding stream. The choir sang the same old hymn he'd loved since 17. After everyone had gone home, I walked down to the shore. The current sounded just the way it had years before. Then the breeze began to carry a melody through the trees, and somehow in that quiet moment the Lord brought peace to me. Grace has a way of speaking without saying a word. Sometimes the deepest sermons are simply felt and heard. When the river sang Amazing Grace, heaven felt close enough to touch. The water carried more than echoes, it carried God's unfailing love. When the river sang Amazing Grace, every heart was made brand new, and every note still reminds me of the day my faith first grew. Now every flowing river still sings that song to me. Now I stand beside those waters with my own son holding tight, watching another generation meet the Savior in the light. The river keeps on flowing, but God's love remains the same. Some blessings never change their course, only the people they embrace. When the river sang Amazing Grace, 3 generations stood as one, praising God for faithful mercies and all that He has done. When the river sang Amazing Grace, hope washed over every soul, and I realized His goodness has been carrying us all along. Now every Sunday morning when the choir starts to sing, I hear the river softly joining Amazing Grace again.